research shall hopefully bring to a higher level the quality of the strategizing process and its implementation. So as I said, the main objectives, really the specific objectives are for phase 1 is to measure whether in fact rational strategizing has a better impact on effectiveness than adaptive strategizing. And then the findings of this can go to phase 2 on identifying transformational leaders. So this is the conceptual framework. There's your change agent, there's the leader. The change element is your strategy, and the change target is the company. And so you can, what change management means defining and adapting corporate strategies, structures and procedures and technologies to deal with changes in external environments. And so the change agent in phase 1, this the strategy as it affects the company, and phase 2 will be on the change agent itself. So you can formulate your problem domain. Is left brain or rational strategizing more effective than right brain in bringing a company towards stability and sustained excellence? And a corollary to this would be, what strategies do companies adopt during crisis periods? And so the hypothesis which we're trying to prove is left brain is more effective than right brain or adaptive strategizing. And everybody knows that the effectiveness of change depends on 2 factors. One is the quality of the change element, which is therefore one of our criteria. Did the student get a good grade for the drama paper? Because that's the quality. And of course, the degree of acceptance by users. And therefore, the implementation of the strategy. So this can be determined indirectly to serving the company's adoption of the rational strategizing method and the degree of implementation by the company of this method. So we have formed a short list, since mostly it's the VG students who are in the higher positions in management who are most likely going to implement. We have identified already around 250 papers who could be potential implementors. Because in effect, if your strategy formulation is your input and process, and your output is your strategy implementation, whether it's an aggressive strategy, a competitive strategy, a defensive strategy, a conservative strategy, then you can measure the outcome. And the outcome is really your financial statement, but stated in terms of the Altman Z-score. So whether if you get a low score of D or less than 1.8, you're most likely going to go bankrupt. But if at the point wherein you started doing your strategy, you were able to improve the score to, let's say, A or a score of B, then something happened. You made your drama paper effective implementation. And therefore, who was the leader? Who was able to do that? What were the things that he did? That will be phase 2. So effectiveness is a matter of matching between outcomes and output and outcomes. So what we're going to use is the chi-square in statistics. The chi-square formula is, that's why you need also a statistical background, is an important tool for determining whether there is a real cause and effect relationship. Because in fact, one of the things that people would normally ask is there really a cause and effect relationship between a strategy and its impact on the company's profitability? And so we're going to use the chi-square test for that. So to approach it, the scored company which implemented rational strategizing versus a control group, those which have not implemented rational strategizing by implication, are using adaptive strategizing by default. Although this is where part of the research problem will come, because normally, I think the small companies and entrepreneurial ventures or startup companies, they don't really do rational strategizing. No? They're mostly adaptive because they are just starting up. They don't do 5-year plans. And so the other problem would be, of our 2,800 papers, who of them are really doing rational rational strategizing and who are doing adaptive. And we may even go beyond the universe of existing SAMA papers. And then the other approach is score of company which implemented rational strategizing before and after implementation. And then another a third one which evolved as this paper evolved is going to now comparing, because when you do your SAMA paper, there is a competitor analysis. No? Who is your closest competitor? So you will also need to get the Altman Z-score of the competitor. And then look at it over a 3-year horizon, who improved better. So if you beat your competitor in the Altman Z-score, then you are a better transformational change agent. So that will be in the phase 2. So the performance window is the 3-year performance window. Or I actually put there 1 to 2 years after implementation. So our cut-off period is 2006 or 2007. And when I took a look at the graduating students, usually when you graduate, sometimes your STRAMA paper was finished a year actually before that. And so if your cut-off year, let's say, is 2005, you graduated 2006, then we can have a better performance window. That means you have data for 2005, 2006, 2007. Now, where will we get that? We will get that information from SEC. So one of the criteria also of determining whether the SAMA paper is a candidate for this study is, can we get the financial statements from SEC. Now, it's easy for the researcher to just get a card for 100 pesos. SEC is going to give you a card, and then you can actually surf the internet and download the financial information. So there's no need to or from bad to good. So that's the question that we are trying to answer.
And we try to investigate the relationship between values and attitudes and